Okay, here we have the ultimate introduction to Google Sheets. For this example, we'll get started over here, clicking on New in your Drive, going to Google Sheets. Seems very simple so far. We're going to go to Untitled Spreadsheet. You're going to want to make sure you give it a name that makes sense and it's easy for you to find later. Now, this is cell A1, B1, C1, and as it continues down, A2, B2, C2. For this example, why don't we use compilation of, say, tests, how we're doing in a course of study. If you're a teacher, you can teach your students how to do this as well, and that way they can track for themselves and reflect on their performance and see what's going well or not so well, and when. So let's start off in row 1 here, making a header row, a bunch of titles. Let's call this test. This will be score. The next one will be out of, so we can use some formulas, and this will be percentages. Now, let's make that look more like it belongs as a title. Let's make it bold. Let's even say, go over here, give it a center alignment, and add a color. Why not? And if we're going to use a dark color, a lighter one. There we go. Wonderful. We have, say, let's go test 1, test 2. Another great thing about Sheets is you can, if you select a couple of things like this, a couple of cells, and drag it down, it will go right ahead for you and fill in all that other information. If you'd like to have that center aligned, go ahead. Now scores, let's go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 8. All right, so we have a bunch of scores. Now, the reason I have out of is tests aren't always out of the same thing. But if we want to see how things look over time, we can have this sheet automatically change these results to percentages. So for this, let's start with, 7. And let's make the rest of them out of 10, say. If I got 3 10s in a row, I can just make the rest of them 10 by dragging it down like so. Wonderful. Now, to make this work as a formula, if you press equals, that lets the sheet know you're going to put in a formula. So that's going to be equal to the score divided by, which is a / this. Hit enter, and it's made it into a number, not exactly a percentage. So if I click and drag this all the way down, over here, boom, it's a percentage, and then I can get rid of some of those decimal places. So now, check this out. How easy is this? Click the 1, drag it down, and it automatically makes all of them as percentages. So let's make ourselves a chart or a graph. Click cell A1, drag it down all the way to D9, insert a chart, and give it a second to render. There it is. Now, select it. It doesn't look exactly like we want it, does it? It has the names of all the tests. That's good. But we don't need to know scores and out ofs if we just want percentages. So if you click on this, edit chart, let us get rid of the score by going to score under the data field here and just remove it. Do the same with out of, remove it. And voila, close this. We now have a chart, a bar graph, that shows us how we've done over time as percentages. So we started off not too badly, dropped off, made some quick gains, and over here something happened. We can think about why we might not have done so well there. This is a great way of tracking progress over time. Hey, if you like it, share it around with some teacher friends. Maybe use this for your students to learn how to track their own progress and reflect on how they're doing and maybe why things have worked a certain way. And please subscribe, even get yourself some notifications. Don't miss anything on the channel. All right, thanks very much. Happy computing.
The world is a remix.